Meanwhile, Democrats today have gone out of their way to post messages on social media about the current Trump administration and what's happening to American lives. The problem is they're all literally saying the same damn thing. Don't believe me? Check it out.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down, they're up. Inflation is getting worse, not better. The prices of grocery, gas,
You know, I have no idea who is advising the Democratic Party, but man, you guys need a complete overhaul and y'all need to fire whoever is giving y'all these whack ass ideas. It's crazy. To me, it just looks like it's desperation. All of the stuff that you guys are doing right now, it's like gimmicks. It's gimmicks, man. It's like, you know what? We'll try anything. That's what the Democrats look like. It's like, okay, we'll just try anything because we are getting destroyed by Donald John Trump and the Republicans. They are doing all of these things that are great for the country. We don't want to admit that they're great for the country. So we're going to oppose everything that this man says and does. And we're going to do it in unison. We're going to do it in concert. I had to check out what my man Stephen A. Smith had to say about this. And to me, it's embarrassing. I can't believe I used to support and be part of this party. Oh, that red pill, man. Thank God for the red pill. But without further ado, let's take a look at the brother Stephen A. Smith, who some would say that, you know, he needs to run for the Democratic Party. He probably has a great chance. He probably would do a lot better than the top Democrat right now. So Stephen A. Smith, man, I know he was on Hannity talking about no, he would never. It would be a huge pay cut, and unless you start an NGO, Stephen A., and you know, get one of these programs, they'll send you a couple of $1 billion, man, that you can go ahead and disperse for your NGO in some other part of the country, man. So yeah, man, you might be able to get billions out of it, like the rest of the Democrats. So without further ado, the brother Stephen A. Smith.
Before we go, I want to mention that President Donald Trump will deliver an address tonight in prime time to the House and Senate lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The speech will resemble something like a State of the Union address. Meanwhile, Democrats today have gone out of their way to post messages on social media about the current Trump administration and what's happening to American lives. The problem is they're all literally saying the same damn thing. Don't believe me? Check it out.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down, they're up. Inflation is getting worse, not better. The prices of grocery, gas,
Now you see why Stephen A. Smith was in the polls as a presidential candidate? See what I'm talking about? You see that idiocy right there?
Of any other Democrat, I would vote for Stephen A. Smith over any of these bums, man. Stephen A. Smith. Oh man, this is embarrassing, man. So they decided to do this, I don't know, their public service announcement and decide to say the same exact message. And I don't know who's advising the Democrats, man. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's got to be the same people that was advising Kamala, man, because you think the Democrats can't come up with more ridiculous ideas. You are in for a rude awakening because they can come up with some of the most ridiculous ideas, man. Thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna get them now. We're gonna get them with this message, and all of us will say the same exact message, or we'll do not like us. Jasmine Crockett, man. That was trash. And then you have what's the other one, man? The superhero one. That was embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. I mean, I wonder if like they think they winning. Like, oh yeah, this will get them. This is gonna get the people back. You know what it tells me? It tells me that we as American citizens, either we just weren't paying attention about politics, or we really just didn't care to pay attention about politics, or we were just dumb. Maybe we were just all stupid, man, or a lot of us. I don't know, because this right here is just ridiculous, man. Back to the brother Stephen A.
You talk about something, people being tone deaf. Why the hell would 22 Democratic senators be literally echoing the same thing and think that would resonate with the American people? All it shows is that the same fabric of our democracy is unchanging in the eyes of some of these officials, and as a result, the constituency they represent, which is why Donald Trump is in office.
Facts.
What, do I have to come up to Capitol Hill and give you lessons?
Do it, Stephen A.
Seriously, you don't get it? Oh, you did. Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer. Let's all get together. Let's put this in a prompter, and all together, albeit in separate rooms, we'll grab a microphone and say the same damn thing. And that's what's going to resonate with the American people. And then
Great
you
idea.
wonder why you're no longer in power. You wonder why Trump is in the White House.
Talk to him, Stephen A.
You wonder why a vice president like J.D. Vance has the authority to spew in the direction of the president of another nation. Don't you get what I've been telling you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put it right. Follow me, the camera. Follow me.
Hey, real quick, Stephen A. They don't get it. They don't get it. It was like what James Carville basically told you to stay out of politics and stay in your own lane and just stay in the sports. See, this is what they've always wanted us to do. They didn't want us into politics. They didn't want us to become aware of what was going on, okay? I am not a political aficionado, definitely not. But I can say this. I am way more engaged now and willing to learn and be part of this political process now. I'm in tune, man. Y'all got me locked in because of all the nefarious things that's going on with our money and the nefarious things going on in the stock market. A lot of us now are tuned into politics, and what we are discovering is ridiculousness. We are discovering something that is so embarrassing that people like myself are embarrassed that we didn't see this before. This is crazy. The gimmicks that you try to do to captivate our attention, to get us to side with you, to keep people from leaving the Democratic Party. I predict there's going to be a mass exodus. There's so many people that's already left the Democratic Party. I think there's going to be a lot more because y'all just trash. Y'all trash day is every day, man. Y'all trash every day is trash day for the Democrats.
Let me give it to you. I'm going to use the saying from my old buddy, God rest his soul, Joe Madison, the Black Eagle. I'm going to put it where the goats can get it.
All right.
Please forgive me because I'm going to cuss here.
Do it, Stephen A.
Only for the purposes of accentuating a point about Donald Trump. Chuck Schumer and the typical politicians, inflation is high. Oh, look at them pointing the fingers at the migrants. Oh, look at them blaming immigration. They don't care about you. Oh, by the way, they don't care about you. Well, why would you bother people from the LGBTQ community? Would you bother folks with transgender and all this? Why would you do that? That is what the Democrats say. That's what most politicians would say. Here's Trump. They're pieces of shit. They don't give a shit about you.
Facts.
It's rigged. They've hoodwinked you all the time.
Yes, sir.
They think you're a freaking joke.
We do.
They give you the middle finger anytime they want to.
All the time.
Here's Trump. Fuck them.
Yes.
They ain't worth shit.
They're not.
And do you know what his followers say? Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. That's how we want you talking to those politicians who've been stealing our money all of these years.
Yes, sir.
It's not what he says. It's how he says it.
It's both, Stephen A.
He does it with vitriol and venom.
I agree with you, Stephen A., but it's both. It's what he says and how he says it. And it's a combination of us just being sick and tired of the bullshit. We tired of being lied to. We found out that we've been lied to our whole life. And now they want us to they want us to just play along like we've played along all this whole time. And people are tired of it. People, what do? Deceive the American public, steal from the American public. And Donald Trump is exposing it. So we're like, you know what? We're done with the Democrats, the Democrats. So I agree with you, Stephen A., but it's both. It's how he says it and what he says.
To show a disrespect to politicians who the public have no respect for because they feel they've been hoodwinked by those same politicians.
Fact.
He's using it to separate himself from the cesspool that is Capitol Hill. And how does Capitol Hill respond? By showing them they're still Capitol Hill.
Yes, sir.
Did you see me on The View Tuesday afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Did you see when they said, we don't believe there's a Trump mandate? I said, oh, really? Did you see the former press secretary for the White House come on? I think Stephen A. is wrong.
Hey, real quick, Stephen A. put them in their place on The View. I loved it. I'm going to do a reaction to that as well. But Stephen A., he lit their ass on fire. He was telling the truth. He was speaking truths. Joy Behar looked lost. She looked like she was outclassed, man. Stephen A. Smith, he's articulate. He's an intellectual, and he puts a lot of thought into his arguments, man. Hard brother to debate, man. I love Stephen A. Smith. I like it, man. I like it. Go ahead, Stephen A.
I don't believe what he said is correct. Donald Trump has the lowest approval ratings in the first month or so, or the 2 months of a presidency in American history. Oh, really? But didn't he win all the swing states? Didn't his popularity elevate within 89% of the counties in the United States of America?
Yes, sir.
Didn't his popularity elevate within the black community, the Hispanic community, and the young voters?
It did, Stephen A.
Didn't he win the popular vote for the first time in 20 years as a Republican nominee?
You already know he did, Stephen A.
Didn't he also win the Electoral College vote?
Yes.
Isn't he in control of the White House?
Yes.
Don't the Republicans have the House and the Senate?
They do. We do.
All of that happened, but there's no Trump mandate.
Facts.
You see the bullshit?
I do. We do.
Is it bullshit? Or is it just that the Democrats are so damn lost that they're actually going to convince themselves they can do the same old and still regain power, both in the midterms and in the 2028 election? I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen because Trump has the power now.
Facts.
And he's manipulating the proceedings. And in case you didn't notice, one of his top boys, Elon Musk, Doge, owns X. Who else was at the inauguration? Jeff Bezos. The man running TikTok. And Lord knows who else. And then you got folks like Candace Owens, who's a Trump supporter, along with various others with their microphones.
Real quick, man. I love that he brought up Candace Owens. Candace Owens, man, I was not familiar with her game before, but over this past maybe year, just listening to Candace Owens, man, and just her talking about what's going on in politics, talking about Trump and stuff like that, I have a huge respect for her, man, and I'm a believer. Candace Owens, man. I think Candace Owens should be on The View. Candace Owens on The View, because The View, from what I understand, they're and you can see, I think, what's her name, Alyssa? I think her name is Alyssa. You can see that she is more defending Republicans now versus like Joy and Sunny and the rest. So there has been talks that, okay, the ratings aren't doing as well because it's all Trump derangement syndrome, right? That's all they talk about. Anything Trump does is just negative, right? They're just going to focus on, okay, we're just going to be negative on Trump no matter what he does. That's their focus, right? So they need to bring somebody in to level the playing field, maybe two people. I think Candace Owens should be one. I think Candace Owens will go in there and eviscerate them ladies. Candace Owens is not to be played. Candace Owens and Megyn Kelly, put them on the View, man. You talk about must see TV. I go get my AMC popcorn and be watching the View daily, man. Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, put them on the View. Or maybe even no, those two. We'll just go with those two. Those two is enough.
Cameras and their audience. If you think the liberals are overcoming that, you go ahead and watch Schumer and those 21 other senators talk their drivel. J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio or somebody will be the next president in 2028.
Facts.
You'll have nobody but yourselves to blame. As if it is an edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. I ain't got time to talk about this anymore.
Stephen A. Smith, man, Stephen A. Smith, man, he's just telling you facts. Stephen A. Smith, he's just telling you facts, man. I like Stephen A. Man, what did he say that was wrong? No, I mean, the only thing that I didn't agree with is, in terms of, Trump, what he's saying and how he says it. That's the only thing. I think it's both. I think it's what he's saying and how he's saying it, man. I think Donald Trump is Donald Trump. How he speaks he's not like a politician. As a matter of fact, his timing is impeccable. I was listening to the State of the Union, and I watched that mug twice in full. And Donald Trump, man, his timing is great. The dude is engaging, he's entertaining, and he's going to talk about issues that are important to American citizens, okay? And what Stephen A. Smith is showing you right now, the Democrats, all they have is this is gimmicks. The Democrats have gimmicks, man, and for the longest time, you should be insulted. I should be insulted because they believe that this stuff works on us still. We'll continue with the bullshit, and they'll follow us, man, with childlike faith. They'll just follow us. Listen, people have taken the red pill. People are now engaged with politics. People are watching now because we've discovered something that we've all suspected for a long time. And this is for generations, right? Our elders have told us this about government, that government does not have your best interests in mind. Government wants to control you and government wants to steal from you. Now, when you're younger, hey, you're distracted with many other things in life. But as you get older and you start to lock in, focus on your money, you start focusing on how this whole thing works. Okay, I don't like what I'm seeing. And there's a lot of Americans that don't like what they're seeing. And then you throw in social media. So people can get this information so fast. All of the nefarious things that you're doing, all of the stuff that our money is going to, and we don't like it. And then you're trying to convince us, the American public, oh, well, you know what they're doing is violating your rights. What they're doing is nefarious. Don't let Doge do it. Is basically what you're saying, right? The Department of Government Efficiency, and we're telling you no. We like the transparency, and because we like the transparency, we want to see more. And President Trump is giving us more. His approval rating is up. Elon Musk, the wealthiest man in the world, is doing this for free. And then, oh well, he's trying to take your information. He's going to do what with our information? And do what? So many people own Teslas. People are on X. People want to get satellite internet. Starlink, all this stuff that Elon Musk is involved in. He started PayPal. Look, our information is out there. Don't sit up here and act like our information is more than what it is. A lot of us got trash information anyway. A lot of our credit is trash. A lot of us ain't got, ain't got, man, what is he gonna do with it, man? Get a Boost mobile phone? The man owns Starlink, man. He don't need your information. If he wanted to get access to our information, it's already out there. So Stephen A. Smith right there, take a look at him, man. He might he might be running for president, man. They might have to convince him. You know, Stephen A. Smith, I could see him arguing, man. It would be a great debate. Him and J.D. Vance. It'd be a great debate. Stephen A. Smith. Oh man, I knew it, man. I love getting Stephen A. Smith's opinion on politics, man. I love that he's going in this lane. So shout out to Stephen A. Smith, and I'm glad you didn't listen to James Carville because he don't know what the hell. In terms of you, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. Now, I mean, he's been around politics a long time. I do agree with some of the things that I've recently saw that he said because you know what? It's funny. You pointed it out. It aligns with what you think, and you got some of your talking points from James Carville. So it's interesting that he wants you to stay in your lane. Well, he understands that you have a big audience when it comes to sports. And then the fact that Stephen A has a big audience, there's going to be people that's going to gravitate from sports over to politics just because of Stephen A. They like him, right? I mean, that's what people do. It's like, oh, what is Stephen A talking about? And you know something? He's going to shed some light on common sense thinking. And people are going to be like, you know what? I want to know about these things. I want some transparency. I want to know exactly what's going on with my country because this affects me. As you get older, you start to understand these things do affect us all. Okay? There's a reason why these politicians don't want DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, exposing where our tax dollars is going. Because I believe there's crime being committed. And I believe as they dig deeper, they're going to find out that these politicians committed crime. And I think they're going to be prosecuted. And I think some of them are going to go to prison. That's just my opinion. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith, man.